While the majority of baseball fans may remember Donald William Zimmer's time with the New York Yankees, his ties to the city went so much deeper. Also known as Popeye or Zim, he first broke into the majors as a utility infielder with the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1954. 8 years and an All-Star appearance later, he was an inaugural member of the 1962 New York Mets. In fact, he was the first to ever try on the Mets uniform as the organization's original third baseman.
Now, what about third base? Well, now you're getting down to Mr. Zimmer. Mr. Zimmer has been handicapped 5 or 6 times in his life because he was injured, but he never gives up. He's the boy that don't die. Now, you got to have that spirit, and you got to have somebody that won't give up and plays till the 9th inning.
Over the course of his 12 big league seasons, Zimmer hit 91 home runs, had a .235 batting average, and played every position except pitcher and first base. When he retired, he had played for 5 major league teams and earned 2 World Series rings. For the majority of baseball players, once their playing days are over, so is their baseball career. But not so for Zim. In 1965, he moved into the coaching ranks, and in 1976, he was named manager of the Boston Red Sox midway through the season. While he led the club to 90-plus wins in each of his 3 full seasons, he will always be remembered as being at the helm during the Boston Massacre and Bucky Dent's iconic home run.
I couldn't stand him then, but he was always a guy that wanted to beat you, always ahead of the game, you know, very competitive. And when you played against his teams, you knew they were going to play hard, you know, so you better bring your A game.
Zimmer spent 13 seasons as a manager and was the 1989 Manager of the Year with the Cubs. After being a part of the Colorado Rockies' first ever coaching staff, he joined the Yankees as Joe Torre's right-hand man and bench coach. Over 8 seasons, he helped Torre lead the Yankees to 4 World Series rings and a few memorable moments.
For 8 years, it was, it really made me the manager I turned out to be here because he was more the crap shooter, and I was more on the conservative side, but he certainly nudged me enough where the combination worked really well.
Zimmer was great. He had such a great sense of humor. He had a computer for a brain. He didn't need spreadsheets. He didn't need computers. He had it all right upstairs in his head, and he saw more baseball than anybody.
Well, Zimmer's great. He was part of the 96 team when we came here with Don, and he's a good baseball guy, and a lot of history there, and all the stories he told.
In 1999, Zimmer was sitting on the Yankees bench during the American League Division Series when Chuck Knobloch led off the inning by hitting the ball sharply into the dugout and right at Zimmer. Despite being hit in the face, Zimmer was okay and returned in the next game with some protection.
Not everybody knows the story there because this is before they put those little fences up in front of the dugout. I said, don't worry about it, Zim. I said, if anybody hits one over here, I'll protect you. And as soon as that ball came over, I ducked the other way and hit him. The first thing he said to me, I thought you were going to protect me.
And in 2003, the feisty grandfather brawled with Red Sox pitcher Pedro Martinez during the ALCS.
Zim is fiery. I mean, these people here in Boston know that.
I'm embarrassed. What happened yesterday? I'm embarrassed for the Yankees, the Red Sox, the fans, the umpires, and my family. That's all I have to say. I'm sorry.
Situations always follow him, I guess. Don's always in the mix, He's a fiery competitor, and he's tough as nails, actually. So, you know what? We all love him because he has that personality. He's a character, and again, a wealth of baseball experience, which you want to be around.
Just the way he was, he treated us as players in the team and always really kept a fun attitude, a great attitude, and really kept our dugout relaxed.
By the end of October in 2003, Zimmer resigned after being fed up with George Steinbrenner's meddling and what Zimmer thought was disrespect towards Torre and himself.
He was a character, he kept you loose, made sure that you did all your homework. Great guy. It was great playing for Don Zimmer, Popeye, he was just a great man to have around, the clubhouse and, sitting on the bench and, helping Joe. And when you have someone like that that's been around the game and understands this game, you have a lot of respect for people. And I think all of us had great respect for him and what he meant to our club.
Not ready to end his baseball career, Zimmer was on to another team by January. and had been with the Rays ever since. The fact that Zimmer's baseball career started at all is remarkable, since he almost died when he was hit in the head with a pitch in 1953. And 3 years later, while playing for the Cincinnati Reds, a fastball broke his cheekbone, but he persevered.
He's like a walking encyclopedia, man. I mean, I love Don. You can always talk baseball with him. He enjoys it. He gives you all that experience that he has. So I was like a sponge at times being around Zim. Such a great guy.
Zim, he was always, a great baseball man, and he was very passionate, as we, have seen over the years. So, but Zim, he was always there with a smile, and he loves his baseball.
Donald William Zimmer had been involved in professional baseball every year since 1948. And if there was anyone who epitomized the term for love of the game, it was him.